Chess is a board game. It's very popular in the United States and even all over the world. People have been playing it for many, many years, for a very long time. They've enjoyed it.
How long has it been around?
The earliest form of the chess we play today, they think came back around the 6th century India, but it didn't become popular worldwide until 15th century Europe and Spain.
Is it played the same way everywhere?
It's the chess we play today is pretty much yes. Okay, first I'm going to teach you how to set up the board. To set the board, must set up the game. You must first make sure the board is set up correctly. How to do that is you look at the board like this. There will always be a dark square to your left and a light square to your right. First piece I'll show you how to set up is the rook. There are two of them. They go into each corner near your shield. The rook is sometimes mistakenly called the castle. Don't call it that because that's what it is, but it may help you remember what it is. Next are the two knights. They go next to each rook towards the middle. They're sometimes mistakenly called the horse, but they're actually the knight. The next two pieces will be the bishops. They go next to the two knights. They don't have any other name, they're just bishops. Now we have two more spaces left, and only two more pieces. The queen, if you're the white queen or the light queen, will go in the light square. And the king will go in the last remaining space. On the row directly in front of all the pieces you just set up will go your 8 pawns. They each occupy their own square. Alright, now that you know how to set up the board, I'll teach you how each piece moves. First will be the rook. The rook can go in any direction, up, down, or to the right, as many squares as the player wishes to move it, until it comes in contact with another piece. If it comes in contact with an enemy piece, it may stop just before the enemy piece, or it can keep going and capture it by taking its square. If it comes in contact with a friendly piece, it must stop short of the friendly piece. You cannot take your own piece. Next, the knight is the only piece that can jump over other pieces. It is also the only piece that you can start out with besides the pawn, because it moves over the pawns. Now, the move that is made, they like to call it an L. It's a three square move. 1, 2, and 3. You can either go up 1 and over 3, right of the way, or you can go 2 and then over 1. 1, 2. For that same position, you go 1, 2, 3. The knight will always end up on a different color square than I started on. The bishop. It is similar to the rook, except it's only going slants. A good way to remember how the bishop moves is it will always stay on the same color on its move. It must also continue. You can also continue in any spaces it wants until it comes to contact with another piece. Like the rook, if it comes to contact with an enemy piece, it can either stop just before the enemy piece, or it can continue and take its piece to capture it. The next piece will be the most powerful piece on the board. The queen can mimic the move of any other piece on the board except for the knight. From here it can go any direction. 1 space, 2 spaces, sideways, back, slant, anywhere. It can also take a piece by taking its place. The king. The most important piece in the game because you must protect it at all times. But it can move in any direction from its current position. Anywhere.
How many spaces can the king move?
You only move 1 space at a time. Lastly, the pawns. The pawns can do a few different things. From the starting position, it can move either 1 or 2 spaces up. A pawn can only continue forward one space at a time after the initial move. If it comes in contact with any piece, whether it be friendly or foe, it cannot go any further. It must stop before short. But if a piece is off to a slant, it can capture it. The pawn can only capture at a slant going forward.
Can it go backwards?
Pawns can never go backwards. Alright, now that I've taught you how to move the pieces, I will teach you how to put your king into check, or your opponent's king rather. Your king is in check when it is in direct attack from an enemy piece. As you can see here, the queen is attacking the king. How you can get your king out of check is you can simply move it out of the way as a threat, or this piece is open, I can block the attack. A third way is I could capture the piece, making the threat. Now the king is safe.
Is there another way to win besides checkmate?
Well, I'll explain checkmate first. This is an example of checkmate. The king cannot move out of safe place. Checkmate means the king is in check, but cannot escape. If he captured the queen, he is still under attack by the queen, by the bishop, excuse me. There's no piece available to take the queen, so he still is in check. But yes, there are other ways to win a game besides checkmate. You can also take out all your opponent's pieces with just a king. Some rules will just call that a draw. I usually play where it's called it would just be a win. There's also a way where if your opponent decides they cannot win, or they decide they don't want to continue the game, they can surrender by knocking their king over. And that will give you an automatic win.
So at any time they want to quit, they just knock their piece over.
And it's not a king over. Or they just say they quit, but that's usually the sign.
Why would somebody do that?
If they concede that they cannot win a game, they just want to finish. Now that you know how to play chess, you should be able to play a simple game with maybe some few problems, but a little guidance you should do just fine. Chess is widely played all over the world, and it's a lot of fun. So you should play with people.